this video, we'll have a look at the undercut functionality part of GRAITEC PowerPack for Inventor. The undercut within a part is creating quickly relief grooves according to standard ISO 18388 from 2016, and also you can customize them. Once the command is enabled, we can select the norm, the type, and then we have to pick an edge. Once the edge is selected, the values are automatically filled there, so the diameter is automatically detected, and when you apply them, the undercut is created. We can see in the model browser that the undercut is named according to standard and form. If we change the form, we can pick another edge. We will see that the values are automatically updated and we apply. Now, if we change and we pick form G, for example, this diameter 25 millimeters is too big for this form according to the ISO standard. So we need to pick another edge, smaller. This time is 12 millimeters. Applying it, it will create the undercuts or relief grooves in the model browser, and we can see that they are named according to the standard and according to the form that has been selected. As you can see, with this undercut functionality, you can create quickly relief grooves within parts without using the design accelerator in assembly environment.
We are in Inventor Professional 2025 and we will have a look at grid annotations functionality part of GRAITEC PowerPack for Inventor 2025.1. The annotation process of working planes and axes in Inventor is an extremely time-consuming one, especially when you are working with multi-sheet drawings. The scope of the grid annotations is to automate the process of adding balloon annotations to work planes and axes. The functionality works with symbols that you define in your workspace. So we have two tabs, placement and symbol. If we go to the symbols, we have here select symbol, and you will see we have circle and hex, for example. So if we look at the symbol sketches in the drawing environment, we will see we have two symbols here, the ones that you already see on the list. Just to look at one of them, what is important to remember is that the text must be always a prompted entry in order to work with this command. Okay, so we don't save that. Another important aspect to work with this command is to have the working planes and axes included in your drawing. Yes, so are included and visible automatically. Yes, we will see here that we have an axis or a plane that is not actually included, so we will see. Yes, and we will notice what is happening with this one if it's annotated and if it's visible in the drawing. Now let's see how this is working. Clicking the command in the placement, you can select top left, bottom right, or top right to place the balloons. In the symbol area, we have the scale. Select symbol, yes, which one you like, depending on what you have in your drawing environment, and an offset value. Also, the option save as default, it's saving you time in not to re-enter all the time the values you want to set for your drawings. And you can always set them from the beginning and they will be saved as default. So for example, I will choose the hex one with an offset value of 1.5 centimeters. The scale, I will let it 1.5 and I save it as a default. For the placement, I will go with top and right for the moment, and if I push the current sheet button, we will see that the axes and the planes are annotated automatically very easily with the hex symbol. If I close the window, you can see we have them here. Now, if we open, the reset button is not working if you already closed the dialog, but even so, if you go on the symbol and, for example, I will choose the circular one and I play the current sheet, the application will tell me that there are already some symbols and it's asking me if I want to replace them or not. I can click yes, and we will notice that the placement was top left, yes, and the placement has been resetted, and the type of symbol has been resetted as well. If I press the reset button now, everything will disappear, and you can choose another symbol and another placement, let's say with a scale offset value of 1, current sheet, okay. And if we check here, everything is exactly as we defined.
We are in Inventor 2025 and we will have a look at a functionality called Boom Export from GRAITEC PowerPack for Inventor. Let's have a look first at the functionality embedded in Inventor to export bill of materials to Excel. So we'll create a bill of materials for this assembly just for the structure list. And if we save it as an Excel file, we will see now how this looks like. And we will notice that the thumbnails are moving in Excel, so they are not embedded in the cell of this file. Now, if we go in the GRAITEC PowerPack ribbon and we select Export Structural, we'll automatically export to Excel the information. And the big difference is that now the picture, the thumbnails are embedded in the cell, so they are not moving around the Excel sheet, and this is saving a lot of time for the user to not embed the pictures in the Excel if it's required that. We are in Inventor 2025 and we will have a look at the panel Visibility Enhanced from GRAITEC PowerPack for Inventor. These functionalities are made to switch on and off elements that we use in general to build assemblies and parts in Inventor, like axes, planes, sketches, surfaces, and points. Until today, these functionalities were turning on and off all these work items on the full assembly. An improvement has been brought to all these options, and we can now turn on selection on a selected object the required work item. So, for example, if we select this platform in this case and we try to turn on axis, we will see that the axis will be turned on just for this item. And if we look on the entire assembly, just the axis on the platform are available. The same applies for planes. Yes, if we select the object first, switch on planes, and we will see only the planes on that selected object. The same applies for sketches or surfaces or points. And this is very practical because actually we can work directly in an assembly, or we can investigate something directly in the assembly without being, let's say, disturbed by all the other planes or axes or surfaces that are turned on in the full assembly. We are in Inventor 2025 and we will have a look at Unresolved References command from GRAITEC PowerPack for Inventor. This command helps the user to identify missing components in assemblies and from now on also in subassemblies. So you will not need to open the subassemblies in order to fix the missing components. You can do this directly in the main assembly. So we have this subassembly here that it has some components that are not available. We can see that we are in a main assembly, and if we run the command, this will identify the component. It will download them from the Content Center. For the Content Center part, they are identified with all the instances, so even if it's the same part, it's listing all the instances, and you can check them in one shot with Replace All. While for the parts, you just need to point the location of the missing part, and that will be replaced directly in your subassembly. So we can see that the part is replaced, and this is visible in the main assembly as well. And for the content center parts, we just apply, and the elements are all loaded and available in the main assembly. With this command now we can search and identify missing components in assemblies and subassemblies without being necessary to open each subassembly to fix the missing components.